Hello, and welcome to Uisdean Reviews, where we look at films old and new, good and bad. On today's show, we're looking at In the Line of Duty 3.
Yes, sir.
Well, the problem with this is I haven't even seen In the Line of Duty 1 and 2.
You actually have seen these films, Darren. Well, for this release, they've gone for the basic option.
Yeah, that kind of makes a bit more sense. As you said, the subtitle, Male and Female Thieves, quite the most prosaic film title. I mean, it's accurate.
It is very accurate, but...
Maybe something lost in the translation there.
From Japan?
Brief overview of the first two that we reviewed. I think we both enjoyed those. Yes, Madam. Was a little choppier, but had some excellent set pieces in it.
Yeah, and Cynthia Rothrock and Michelle Yeoh, or Michelle Khan, as she was known at the time. Amazing scenes, fight scenes, especially the last half hour
Final
or so.
boss, sort of scene, that was excellent. And then the second one would be Royal Warriors. Maybe didn't have anything up to that part, but I think it was a better film overall.
A lot of amazing action, stunts, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of emotion.
We should point out that Cynthia Rothrock dropped out of the second one for whatever reasons. Michelle Yeoh did return for the second one, but she's not in this one.
Apparently she retired.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that she came back. I'm glad she came back out of retirement. How old would she have been then? I think I mean retired from acting and was going to do something else.
I don't know much about it, but yeah, she also came back to movies a few years later.
Yes, and done okay.
Yeah, she's done all right.
She's done all right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this time taking up the mantle is Cynthia Khan.
I don't think she had any choice in her stage name, because it was basically a combination of Cynthia Rothrock and Michelle Khan.
I did wonder that, but I thought that can't be. But is that right?
Yeah.
Well, is that to try and give the illusion that there's some kind of continuity here? Because the films certainly don't try to do that. There's nothing really connects them beyond Hong Kong police working across borders. With, like, in the first film it's with Scotland Yard, in the second film it's with the Japanese police, and this one similar to the second one. Yeah, so strange that they kind of wanted to kind of try and slip Cynthia Khan into it as a sort of consistency factor when the films themselves are very kind of isolated and kind of standalone.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this one was definitely kind of had a gritty feel to it, kind of 70s vibe to it, I felt.
Yeah, it's not as fun and it's not as funny. It does try some moments, I guess. So basic plot is Cynthia Khan is first day, kind of new recruit, first day on the beat. But she's so impressive in her apprehending a robber.
And sorting out somebody that's double part.
Yeah, she's doing two things at once. This is her opening scene, and she's immediately spotted and recruited to the
Serious Crime Squad.
Serious Crime Squad, which is headed by her uncle.
Yeah.
Who is trying to protect her from this. Doesn't even want her on the police force at all, let alone.
No, he makes that quite clear.
Yeah. For the rest of the film.
陳 Sir， 你幾時至俾嘢我做㗎？
坐寫字樓咪仲舒服啦！我知你好唔滿意㗎啦，不如你辭職啊！我可以即刻介紹你去做秘書㗎嚇。
It's an hour and a half film, so it's pretty tight. But I'm like looking at my watch, like an hour and a quarter in, and he's still sort of at it, sort of like trying to keep her out of harm's way and trying to put her off getting involved in this crime saga.
Try to go a bit Police Academy.
Oh, right, okay.
你哋有邊個唔滿意我嘅舉手啊！舉手啊！
喂。
There maybe is some tonal inconsistencies with characters and stuff in this one compared to the first two, I would say.
Yeah, but for the most part it's pretty gritty and brutal.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of moments that took me by surprise in terms of the visceralness.
We got a robbery in Japan at the start.
These are our male and female thieves.
Yeah, and they are a couple. and there's a jewellery exhibition, and instead of waiting until night when it's nice and quiet, they decide to rob the place when it's full of people.
Yeah, it's a full-on sort of show, media attention, all that kind of stuff. And it's not only that, I mean, calling them thieves is a little bit when they kind of like mass murder several dozens of people at the show to get these expensive jewels by this jewellery designer Yamamoto. And amongst this are our other main character, Hiro. He's a police detective.
Got a bit of a Columbo vibe to him.
Yeah, the overcoat, and he's got quite a head of hair as well. I'm quite jealous, I have to say. He's doing all right in that regard, and he's got a younger companion that he's kind of tutoring.
如果連支槍都保唔住，你仲邊有資格做差人啊？
And they get involved in the shootout, chasing down our male and female thieves. I'll try to stop saying that.
Yeah.
Our two thieves and murderers, I guess, at this point. And in the ensuing sort of chase and shootout, the younger detective or police officer is killed.
Yeah, and that was quite a heavy scene, I thought. That was well done. Pretty brutal. Right away, it's different from the first two films.
Yeah, I don't remember anything quite like that. Not right off the bat, yeah.
Yeah, so these thieves, they're basically trying to raise funds for the Japanese Red Army, and our cop Hiro, he's determined to get revenge over the death of his partner.
Yeah.
And his superior basically says, whatever you do in Hong Kong, we'll just turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah. So that gives him the green light to go and do that. He is teamed up with Cynthia Khan, but she's under sort of orders from her uncle to kind of fob this guy off. They're not wanting any trouble on his watch.
Yeah, so it takes him on a kind of like tourist trip.
And he quickly realises that he's being kind of like distracted, and he wants to get on with his investigation.
香港嘅夜景真係靚。
你好中意香港？
係，如果可以喺度長住就好啦。
只要撤軍推翻政府，你想點樣都得。
We get to know our thieves a bit. They get quite a bit of characterisation compared to a lot of the other characters.
Yeah, true.
Well, he's dying. He hasn't got long to live, but he's determined to do all he can for the Red Army.
Yeah.
Where she's kind of saying, "No, let's use this money and just go to the Caribbean or something. Enjoy your last days."
Enjoy some of it, yeah. No, definitely there's a little bit going on there. They've got a kind of weird kind of vibe going on with him.
Reminded me a bit of Xenia on the top from GoldenEye. Into some weird stuff.
Yeah, maybe we'll put a clip of it here if we can, maybe not. Yeah, it doesn't explain what his illness is, does it?
Possibly cancer or something. He's losing hair.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured, yeah. Another guy who's introduced into it, I recognised him from Yes Madam. Took a kick to the face from Cynthia Rothrock. I think he got a stunt double in for Yes Madam. I noticed he actually does take a kick to the face this time from Cynthia Khan. And Yamamoto, our jewellery designer, has set these guys up.
假到連雌雄大盜都呃到，不過點都呃唔到我支雷射槍。
Which seems kind of dumb, given what they've done to get this stuff. So they're determined to get revenge on Yamamoto. Also, Hiro's tracking down Yamamoto. It all converges at a club scene.
你唔使扮嘢，我都揾得你，咁算點啊？
I thought we were going to get a decent club fight shootout scene here, but it's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, not much happens.
That bit felt a little disappointing. And also the sound design, I thought was quite flat. Didn't feel like you were in a club, and it was believable that this gunfight was going on while clubbers, 10 feet away hadn't noticed.
It felt a bit like John Wick in that sense.
True, but yeah, that's the thing with the John Wick films like that is you've got that kind of pumping music that's kind of like breaking the speakers sort of thing. Whereas this one, it was some plinky plonk sort of tune that like no one dances to this at a club, and it's like at a volume like, can you actually hear it? But I mean, it's not that there's a lack of action in this film.
Yeah.
I think there might be too much action to the point that for the latter half of the film, it never has much time to breathe.
It was really well choreographed, but I don't know if it felt a bit clunky in the edit at times. Maybe some issues with the speed of the film. Sometimes it was like fast when it didn't need to be, and things like that. It was a bit jarring for me. Still, it was spectacular stuff they were doing, and that kept your attention.
Plenty of action and all that, so there's no sort of complaints there. But again, like I said, maybe like it felt too kinetic in places, and it just needed a little time to breathe here and there. Like one minute it'd just be like you'd finish a big action scene, they'd step out the door, and then there'd be someone shooting them with an Uzi or something like that. And that would go into another one. And it's difficult to sustain that kind of suspense and that sort of for over that period of time. So for me, that was possibly like too much of a good thing. So yeah, that club scene, hero, he's pulled out a gun that he had hidden in a ghetto blaster. I mean, the gun's bigger than the ghetto blaster itself, and well, it looks like it's certainly a close call. So obviously, things were a little different back then in terms of smuggling stuff like that. And
despite being a cop, he can't use a gun in Hong Kong.
You can't carry that in Hong Kong.
What then, a pea shooter?
This isn't Japan. You can't carry it here.
And then he fakes his own death.
He pretends to take a pill.
I mean, when you said about the uncle being a police academy, I thought, oh, that's maybe a little bit harsh. But this other guy, he's 100% a police academy douche. Yeah, and he's just completely useless. He's at the sight of his own blood. I think he passes out.
Yeah, he's a liability, this guy.
Yeah, definitely. So he's definitely the one to try and fool if you're wanting to try and get out of the police station. He goes on the tail of Yamamoto, as do the two thieves. Yamamoto's killed, so he's out of the picture. Not even got enough time to kind of let that distill, and then we're on to the next one.
Yeah, and she does this amazing double kick.
There's nice stuff like that, and it looks like she does quite a lot of the stuff herself.
Yeah, she was a pro, definitely.
I mean, the action just doesn't let up. The male thief has just been turned, like he's been well done. He's taken to hospital in the back of an ambulance. Another truck arrives. It's our female thief and the other accomplice, and so we'll get into another action set piece. And that's when our male thief, he eventually falls out. He's been burnt to a crisp. He's been shot.
Yeah, and then he gets run over. There's guts everywhere.
Intestines, everything.
He's definitely gone this time, yeah.
But it's a bit of a pity the way that he goes, I think, because I was wondering if they were going to do something with his illness or the fact that he didn't have long to live, and he would maybe use that as a...
Going out in a blaze of glory, something, yeah.
Or sacrifice himself for her, that kind of thing.
They kill off characters quite shockingly in this.
The head of the serious crime organisation, he also gets killed. He goes into hospital, and then a bomb attached to a toy helicopter flies into the hospital and blows him up.
Yeah.
We've completely forgot about that as well. There's so much going on, so much to cherry pick. He sends a bomb to the police station to try and get back at Cynthia Khan. that timer was right down to the second. Yeah, there was no sort of messing with that.
你而家即刻同滕江嚟炸永船廠，如果唔係，我炸晒全香港嘅差館。
And immediately Hero is taken out of the picture, yeah?
小心啊！
I mean, is he dead? I mean, we certainly don't see him come back.
Big load of bricks fell on him.
Seems to be it was his story at that point.
Yeah.
Him, it was driving the narrative in terms of getting the thieves.
我要同爸爸報仇，捉超雄大盜，等爸爸安息。
And if anything, you know, Cynthia Khan's character is holding it back for quite a bit of the film, as is her uncle. So yeah, it's very odd.
It frees up Cynthia to take out the baddies on her own.
Yeah, it's a one-on-one with our female thief and Cynthia. They have a showdown, and this was pretty good.
It was really good, yeah. Nice fight.
And a few nice kind of moments using the space around them, using sort of objects and climbing along sort of scaffolding, using iron beams to bounce around like Sonic the Hedgehog. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it looks like she's captured the female thief and puts the handcuffs on her.
I completely forgot about this, yeah.
But she's got a bomb vest on.
Yeah.
With 5 seconds to go until they're blown to Kingdom Come.
It's the longest 5 seconds as well.
It's an incredibly long 5 seconds.
I don't know why they didn't just put 10 seconds on that on the clock.
I think they needed a good 20 seconds.
Maybe. Certainly not 5. But yeah, but within those 5 seconds, she gets out of the handcuffs. They have a little scuffle, and she manages to throw her into like a...
Through some sort of shaft thing.
Yeah, straight in. One shot, no net. Yeah, she blows up in there. Cynthia's okay. We have a slight moment where she kind of looks wistfully, and then that's the end of the film.
Yeah, a freeze frame on our hero. Wasn't the best freeze frame. They should have gone maybe a second back.
You think so?
Yeah, it was a lot nicer shot, but yeah.
It feels like it's just that thing where it's like, yep, that's all the action done, end.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you know, I kind of thought Hero was maybe going to be like, she was going to go to him, and he might be kind of like half conscious, but kind of like, oh, did you get her? Yeah, I got her. And he's like,
yeah, crawling out the car.
Yeah.
Battered and bruised.
Yeah, but nothing like that. Just, no, the action's done, that's it. You know, what else are you expecting?
I think the first time I was expecting a lot more from it. Second time I watched it, you just watch and enjoy the fights. There's a lot to enjoy in this film. And yeah, Cynthia Khan knows her moves. Great fighter. Not much depth to her character.
Yeah, our character's not very consistent. Because I was kind of like, oh, this seems quite good at the start when she's like tearing her skirt so that she can run and catch a thief.
Yeah.
She's going to tear down the patriarchy. She's, you know, and I thought this could be quite interesting in a film like this. It wouldn't be as obnoxious as if they did something like that these days. You know, it would be it'd be quite well done. But then she kind of like, yeah, she does some things like when she's like fobbing off Hero.
你急都急唔嚟㗎，捉賊係要時間同耐性嘅。
So that feels a bit out of character for her, but then she does kind of come back towards the end. So I felt a little bit flaky, and that was kind of bugging me a bit. And then I think with Hero, yeah, it did kind of feel a bit disappointing that he kind of was like killed off effectively. It feels like it's his film, and he's certainly the one that's most invested.
Yeah, I mean, he's come all this way from Japan, and
he's, you know, he's close with the family of the partner that died and all that. We see that when he's in Japan. And he vows that he's going to get them.
Yeah, so there's no like little thing at the end of the family hearing that he completed his mission.
Yeah, I'm going to nudge this down a little bit compared to the first two. I'm going to say a 2.5. I could maybe go up a smidge. Maybe I certainly agree with you. I liked it more the second time round, but I don't think I could quite go higher than that. I was a bit more disappointed by this one than the first two. And if you've watched the first two and you enjoy them, yeah, definitely it's worth checking out as well. But I would say 2.5.
No, I agree with everything you're saying there. I'd probably give it a 3. There's a lot to be amazed at. You know, you don't see a lot of stuff like this these days.
I know, definitely not.
Where it's very real.
I guess I'm comparing them to 1 and 2. I think they're slightly of a higher caliber and stuff like that, so I've got to kind of go with that. So
Yeah.
we'll say 2.5 from me and 3 from you.
Cool.
Okay, well that's us reviewed In the Line of Duty 3, Royal Madam 3, Male and Female Thieves. Had to look at my notes there.
Also known as Force of the Dragon.
Oh no, you're just dropping that in.
Ultra Force Free. So if you went and bought all these films...
You've got the same film. Well, we'll just stick with In the Line of Duty 3. We've reviewed it, we've done it. Let us know if we got it right with that and what title you prefer in the comments, as always. But until then, we'll see you next time.
Cheers.